Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our NFL Week 15 preview between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Eagles. This week versus the Minnesota Vikings, the Philadelphia Eagles will have to be able to get pressure on Matt Castle. I'm going to show you how they can flush him weak side, get him off the spot, and generate a big play by sending a corner off the strong side. Now what we have here, it shows pre-snap cover 2, but really it's going to be cover 3 because we're going to walk this walk this corner close to the line of scrimmage. As the cadence winds down, you're going to see a lot of motion. It's going to shift to cover 3. As this corner is walking toward the line of scrimmage, the strong safety is starting to walk over because he's going to be responsible for the deep third. So he's dropping into his third. Then as this safety moves over, you're going to see the free safety start to walk over because he's responsible for his third. So you have the deep third right here, deep third here, and you're going to see this corner start to slowly back off that pre-snap cover 2 look, and he's responsible for his deep third because we're dropping the linebacker in a curl out responsibility. We're going to drop this backer in the curl out responsibility as well, and we're going to show, boom, 5 techniques getting upfield, 5 techniques getting upfield. We're going to have the nose tackle get a good push and drop back into the hook zone. Why? Because we're going to send this backer here looping around on the outside. We're going to send, matter of fact, we're going to crash this 5 technique in here and send this outside backer looping around, getting pressure on the weak side, because again, we're flushing Matt Castle this way, trying to flush him this way, and that's going to be the biggest key. And his linebacker is also going to show blitz, but at the snap of the ball, he's dropping back into the hook zone. So you have your underneath coverage protected with your outside backers and your nose tackle that's dropping back into the zone blitz, hopefully trying to take away this quick slant here. And you also have your backer dropping back into the hook zone. But you, again, playing cover 3, pre-snap cover 2, getting pressure on the outside, strong side with the cornerback. I think that's how they can flush Matt Castle out of the pocket, force him to his left, where they can have success in playing great pass defense. The Minnesota Vikings have to be able to stop the run this week versus the Philadelphia Eagles, but also stay protected versus the pass. We know the Eagles love to run that read option. I'm going to show you how they can stun up front, be in position to stop the run on the outside, but also still be able to drop back in cover 3. So what we have here, pre-snap cover 2, a strong sky look. We have the strong safety in the hole, but what we're going to do, we're going to drop into cover 3. This is cover 3 here, deep third. Deep third, we're going to have the strong safety as well, dropping his deep third. And the reason why we have him going outside where the cornerback is aligned, because we want the cornerback to get a good jam on his wide receiver. He's also playing run support. That's why he's close on the line of scrimmage, getting that good jam, trying to funnel him outside to where his help is. So now he's in position to stop the run if it comes outside. We've crashed the inside, the defensive end inside. We're going to have him play the outside shoulder of this tackle because we're looping this linebacker around as well. So you see where we have the cornerback here playing close to the line of scrimmage. We're going to have the linebacker trying to get that outside shoulder to not get reached by this tight end, causing confusion if they come this way with the outside run. And I know this is split back, but this is more instructional purposes for the defense as opposed to the offense. We know the Eagles don't line in a split back formation, but this is how we're going to try to play the run. We're going to try to play with the cornerback and the outside backer, crashing the defensive end. We're going to have this nose tackle, so the defensive tackle get a good bump, drop back in the hook zone. We're going to drop the backers back as well. We're going to run a twist on this side. Typical T&E stunt where tackle goes outside and waits goes inside, attacking that gap here, or decides if he want to take the B gap or the A gap is up to him. But we're running a twist on this side right here. But you see where we have cover 3. We have the guys responsible for the underneath coverage, the tackle dropping back, 2 backers, and we're trying to force the cornerback and the outside backer speed guys to play the run if it comes strong side. And I think if they can stunt up front, the Minnesota Vikings have a great chance of slowing down the ground game, because you really have to stop LaShawn McCoy if you want to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles. And if they can stun up front, get creative with their defensive pressure packages, they can have a lot of success. Now here are some in-game adjustments that you want to watch out for in this ball game for Philadelphia, where the blitz will come from. Let's be honest, Matt Castle will struggle versus the blitz pressures of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the question is, where will they come from? Will they be from the linebacking core, or will they send extra coming off the corner, or will they send a safety? And you also want to keep an eye on how they identify and adjust to Cordero Patterson when he's in the ballgame, whether they line him up in the slot or in the backfield. That defense will have to adjust because he's a big play waiting to happen. And you also want to focus on how they're going to block Jared Allen. Will they utilize fan protection, or will they chip him with the tight end or a running back, or will they just simply run right at him and force him to stop the run? Those are some things you want to look out for when the Eagles take the field. And for the Vikings in this ballgame, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made after that first defensive series of the Philadelphia Eagles, so that way they can keep Matt Castle comfortable in the pocket. And on defense, they want to break tendencies to match up versus this Eagles offense, or will they stay traditional cover 2, or will they try to get creative with maybe a 4-4 look or maybe a 50 front, but they have to do something different in order to slow down Chip Kelly's offense. And with the injuries they have in the backfield, you want to watch for how they're going to compensate for the running game. Maybe they might get creative and try to put Cordero Patterson in the backfield, try to get him involved on those bubble screens, but they have to get some type of short game going, whether it be from the running game or the short passing game, if they want to have some success on offense. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For Philadelphia, the misdirection combats aggressiveness. I would expect an assortment of screens this game to McCoy, to Deshaun Jackson, to try to calm the aggressiveness of the Minnesota Vikings defense. And they're going to have to work the hole in the 2 deep coverage. That's the deep middle and in between the cornerback and the safety down the sidelines. Or you can just run downhill as those linebackers are quickly getting into their drops. And the Eagles have to win the special teams battle. They actually have to win 2 out of the 3 facets of a game. They can't give up a cheap touchdown or great field positions via special teams, so they have to make sure they own that department versus. And for the Vikings in this ballgame, creatively using Cordero Patterson could be a huge asset this week versus the Eagles, and they started to do a great job of this over the latter part of the season. It has paid huge dividends for this football team, and they can't give up the edge in a running game. They have to keep it boxed in, tackle to tackle. That way Chad Greenway and company can play downhill and make plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. And they're going to have to own the intermediate zone on both sides of the ball. On offense, making plays in the passing game over the middle of the field, and on defense, being able to adequately defend the middle of the field versus the Eagles passing game. The X factor for Philly will be their offensive line. The Vikings' pressure has picked up the pace over the second half of the season, and this is an area where the Eagles have had some issues throughout the course of this year, so it's important that they win the battle up front versus Minnesota. The X factor for the Vikings will be the running game. Right now, they're banged up in the backfield with Adrian Peterson having a foot injury and Toby Gerhart nursing a hamstring injury. They have to be able to give Matt Castle some sort of ground game in order for that offense to have success. I like the Eagles in this ballgame. This one will be a close one. I like the way the Vikings are competing defensively, but I think the Eagles right now are playing at a higher level on offense. They're really running the football. They're a well-balanced offensive attack, and when you're well-balanced, you're going to be tough to defeat, so I think they knock off the Vikings on the road. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Eagle fan forums and Viking fan forums for always showing football game plan support.